And then what happened is I walk and I found this beach. It's Miami South Beach. A lot of people heard about this beach. It's very incredible. 12 years ago it was much more beautiful than it is today probably. But what happened at that beach was a series of supernatural, amazing, I would call like miracles, but people would call like coincidences. But they were like more than just coincidences, you know. I remember there was this woman, she was staring at the sea, you know. You could see like she's staring and she was thinking, I don't know what she was thinking. But you know, when somebody was like this, I felt like maybe she needs me, you know, somehow. I just wanted to go and see her. So I went and I just talked to her behind her. I said, hello. And she turned around and I said, I'm Joseph. And she said, could you please give me a hug? That's what the first thing she told me. I said, sure, I would like to hug you. So I hugged her. And when I hugged her, she whispered in my ear. She said, I was waiting for you. I said, what? I don't know. I have no idea. What do you mean? What do you mean waiting for me? Could you be more specific? Try to explain what you mean by waiting for me. She said, just before you arrived, I was praying that somebody would come and talk with me. And when I started talking with her, she started crying. She just was, I don't know, she was going through things and she was crying. And then I just wanted to give her my book because I thought, well, maybe this book will help you. I don't know what's going on, but it's one of my books. Please read it. And then I left it. I just went away. And I received an email from this woman. Days later, she writes me. She said, you know, Joseph, I have never told you what happened to me when you came, but now I would like you to know. You see, before you came, I was going to kill myself. I was ready to end my life.
I was lost and alone, went my way, then you came to me. Since you loved me, reach down for me, your light shone on me in the dark.
Next things I remember now is that I went back to the same beach the next day, and there was a guy, his name was Richard, and somehow we look at each other and we start to smile. And then I was talking with him for a while, and after I finished talking with him, he asked me, can I come with you? Can I go with you wherever you go? And I said, why do you want to come with me? He said, because I like the way you talk and I like to learn from you, the way you're communicating with other people. And I said, okay, just come along. And he was a very funny guy. He was from Mexico originally, but he lived in the States for a while, and he was like a pastor. He was a minister of a church. And he said, I really like the way you're talking about your experiences. And so, and then he asked me where I was staying. I said, don't worry about it, come with me. And he drove me to Hollywood, Florida. And he knew a lot of people over there. And he invited me to this meeting with older ladies. And he told that I was looking for a place to stay, and these ladies, they really enjoy being around me, and said, don't worry, we find a room for you. So they start making like a lot of phone calls to their friends, and soon after that I had a very nice apartment, very cheap, like $400 a month, and I was so grateful for his help. And so things started really working well for me, because at first I was so worried about everything because I didn't know what to do, and now I had a new friend, and And so after that, every day we meet, me and Richard, we met at the beach in South Beach. And sometimes he would find all these people, you know, he would yell at me from far away because I used to be somewhere else, far from him. Say, Joseph, Joseph, please come here, come here. And he would tell these people that I was a good writer and that if they read my books, they would be in tears. And he would say all these nice things about me to these people. And also say that I look like an actor, you know, and I mean, I used to be much good looking than I am now, of course. It was 12 years ago. And so, but then when they met me, I guess they were a bit surprised that, you know, maybe they had the high expectation, but I don't know what it was. But anyway, they just enjoy my conversation, and so I will just continue my journey in this wonderful place. So it was just one thing after the other. I just walk and I would just have a feeling to talk to someone. And I always had my books with me, so I would like to share the books and give it to the people. And I remember there was this guy, and I was saying hello to him, but he didn't really want to talk to me. And he said to me, please leave me alone because I came here to rest and to get some answers. So I don't want it to be disturbed because I came here just to listen to this. The way he put it is like he came there to find some answers, you know. And I was just gonna leave him alone because, you know, he didn't want to be disturbed. But then this thought came to my mind, and I told him, listen, how do you know that the reason you came here is because maybe you had to meet someone, and maybe I'm here to give you the answer you are looking for. And if you just don't want to hear it, maybe you're just gonna miss your chance to listen to what I'm going to tell you. And when I said those words, his eyes open up and say, by all means, please sit down. Tell me what you wanted to tell me. And right in that moment, I just felt him to tell him about how to handle relationships, you know, and what to do when, you know, you feel like you have to make an important decision about someone, you know. So in other words, I was there talking to him about women and how to deal with you know, with the conflicts about women, because sometimes there is a conflict and you don't know if that is the right woman for you and everything. And then he looked at me and said, you know what? Said, that's exactly why I came here in the first place to Miami, because he wanted to marry this woman, but he wasn't sure if he should or should not. And so, and the things I was telling him was confirming exactly what it was going on in his mind at that moment. And then I had this book. It was Thoughts of Relationships. It's a book about marriage I was telling you about. And he looked at the book, he started flipping some pages, and he read some quotes. And then the thing he tells me, he said, you know, Joseph said, I have 2 master's degrees. I read so many books. I've been to so many conventions through my whole life. Listened to so many people talking about relationship and everything. But what I'm reading here right now in your book, I have never seen anything so beautiful ever. I mean, these books you have, he said, it shouldn't be in your hands, it should be everywhere. I mean, people should read these things you're writing about it. And then he said, like, you are like an angel. You know, your books are inspiring people. So, and he was so grateful that I had actually stopped and talking with him, you know, because I could just have left and just say, forget it, you know, I don't want to talk to you. But instead, you know, I took the initiative to follow my instinct. So, and then I left, and I'm still walking because, you know, I used to spend like 8 to 10 hours the whole day just talking to people because I wanted to share my experiences. And then I noticed there was a girl behind me, and somehow I noticed she was like following me, and I said, wow, why she's following me? Because I could notice every time I stop, she stops. I would keep going, and she would just keep going. And then suddenly I said, well, I wanted to know what she's up to. So I went to her. I said, listen, is there anything I can do for you? Because I notice you are behind me all the time. And she said, well, I notice you have some books with you. Do you mind if I give a look? I said, sure, okay, this is my book. And she said, can we sit down a little bit? Because I just like to take a little time. It's okay, let's sit down. And then she opened the book, she flipped some pages, was reading a bit here, a bit there. And then suddenly I see all these tears just dropping right on the book. And I say, wow. So what are you feeling? Why you are so emotional about it? He said, no, it's just that your books, it just remind me of how I used to be a long time ago, you know. So it brings back some memories. And I wish I could feel like you describing yourself in this book. I would like to feel just like you writing. And I said, well, you know, I just write what God gives me, and that's the words I have, you know. And she said, well, it's very inspirational, and I just want to thank you for writing these books, you know.